record, and hopefully my screen share works and we will be in business. But that is always questionable. Okay, maybe Darlene, can you just pop on and tell me that you can see that?
Yep, okay. I see it. It's good.
Cool. Okay, awesome. So thank you everybody for coming tonight. This is kind of exciting for our team, Team Fitnique, to have some true people here too. Kind of makes me a little nervous. I have to be on top of my game. But it's kind of fun to be able to share all this information with everybody, and we hope that you'll find it helpful. This is stuff that we've kind of learned throughout my 2 years. Darlene's been with me for 2 years, and then, of course, different coaches have joined us, and we've really kind of worked together to try to figure out some different things that have been working for us, and we wanted to share it with all of our new coaches, but also all of you guys as well. So we hope that you'll find this information helpful. I'm going to talk a little bit about branding and branding your social media and really how you can brand yourself so you can find your best target market. And then Megan Darling, who's a diamond coach on our team, is going to talk about free value and free groups. We really believe in the power of giving people something for free and building our trust that way. And Megan's done an awesome job with her support group, so she's going to talk a little bit about that. So we will get started, and as I said, just pop on anytime you want to ask a question. Don't feel nervous about that. So we'll start with basically branding. You really want your followers to know you, and that's how they're going to start trusting you. And then they're ultimately, hopefully, going to join you either as a challenger, a customer, they're going to send you referrals, or they're going to join your team. And ultimately, that is our goal. We really are in the business of looking for business partners or coaches. On our team, we often call our coaches our business partners, but ultimately that's just adding coaches to your team. So wouldn't it be just so amazing if you could just attract people into your business that were just like you? If you could start talking to someone and know that you're going to have so much in common, because that's the reason they've connected with you. They've seen so many different posts on your page and they've really been drawn to you. So you know that you're almost going to be meeting a new friend instantly. Are you feeling like you're maybe not relating to some of the people that you're trying to help? Do you maybe have some coaches or business partners on your team that you're finding it extremely difficult to talk to help, to show the business to? If that's happening, it could be because you're talking to too many people in the business. You haven't narrowed things down. You haven't connected and really laser focused on your brand. Your marketing can become so easy if you know who you're talking to and figure out really who you are and how to share that. I love the quote at the bottom. If you're talking to everyone, you're really just talking to no one. You need to build trust and show people the real you so they can start trusting you. For me, I would never talk about Power 90X or really even anything to do with Tony Horton. I mean, I don't mind 22-minute hardcore now, that's new, but prior to that, it would be crazy for me to talk about those workouts because it's just not me. I don't like them. I need to talk and share about what's working for me, what I like, and that's going to attract people to my page that are just like me. I want people to relate to me. So I think it's time that you really took a few minutes or a few days to really laser focus your message and your business so you know that you're talking to people that can completely relate to you. And then you're going to end up working with people that you love. So the action steps to try and figure out your brand is, first we need to find your 5. And what I mean by that is finding 5 things that are just true to you, that are completely about you, that make you different than me and make you different than Amy. And then the next thing we're going to briefly talk about is creating your ideal customer. It's called an avatar. So literally creating the person that you, like your dream customer or your dream coach, almost creating your dream best friend. And then you can look at that person and really dive into their personality, and it will help you figure out what you will post, what you'll post about, what questions you'll answer, what, things you'll share on your page if you really are talking to that one person. A brand that tries to please everyone satisfies no one. If you're trying to talk to the 55-year-old that wants to build muscle and the 22-year-old that's just having a baby and the 40-year-old that's at work crazy with 5 kids, that's too many people. You're really not going to be talking to anyone because your focus is going to be all over the place. You need to really zero in on your brand and who you can attract and who you're going to connect with the best. So we're first going to talk about finding your 5. And I told everyone to bring a piece of paper and a pen to this meeting, and I hope you did that. We're not going to have time to do everything tonight, so I hope you can take these action steps and continue on with it. Does anyone remember if I clicked record? Darlene, do you remember if I clicked record?
It says recording up at the top.
Oh, okay, thank God. I just thought I cannot.
You're good.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I want it recorded so you guys can go back and look at it if you need to. Okay, so finding your 5. First of all, take a piece of paper and put a line down the center. And on the left-hand side, I want you to write down all the things that we all have in common. So everyone on this call has things in common. So what do we have the same? We all are coaches. We all can share about all the Beachbody programs. We all like Shakeology, or at least know about Shakeology. We all have the performance line. We all have the same social media opportunities. All of those things we have the same. All the Beachbody products, all the advertising that Beachbody does for us, we can all use that. They do that for us. We don't need to worry about promoting Beachbody products. They got that covered. Like Autumn is the face of the 21-day fix. We don't need to do that. We don't need to have that plastered all over our page. What we need to do is realize that we are the value that people are buying. We are the value that you're giving someone that joins your team. So you need to figure out why you are so valuable, what you have to share that is so amazing that someone will want to join you. So on the opposite side of the paper, I want you to write down what makes you different. What makes you different than me? What makes you different than Darlene or your upline coach? Here's some questions to ask yourself. When you're in a bookstore, what section are you drawn to? For me, I'm such a geek. I love stationery, and that's the first place I go. I was in Michael's today, and I even went to the stationery. That's just where I go. Magazines. I love magazines. I love home decor. Now I love the personal development section. I didn't before, but in these 2 years, that's been a section that I love. What section are you drawn to? What are you most asked about? What do people ask you what do they want your advice about? Is it meal planning? Is it, for me, it's hair. Everyone wants to know, how would you cut my hair if I let you do whatever I want? Those kind of questions I get asked. What do you get asked? What are you good at? Are you a scrapbooker? Do you have the most amazing gardens in your neighborhood? What are you really, really good at? What unique story do you have to share? Sometimes the things that are the most relatable are it's the stuff that's deepest down. The stuff that's really hard to share, the stuff that takes us out of our comfort zone, that's the stuff that's going to get people to relate to you. Whenever I share one of I call them tragedies. I mean, I'm still living, so they're not tragedies, but harder times in my life, those are the times I get the messages from people. Thank you for posting that. Thank you for sharing that with me. I can really relate to you. What makes you excited? I don't know if Veronica's on this call, but on Monday night we were chatting on a Zoom, and sorry to call you out, Veronica, but I just have to. She started asking us if we thought she should tap into her Spanish market. She speaks Spanish. That's her, her heritage. And her face lit up. She was giggly and so excited about the thought of sharing videos and doing posts in Spanish. And I thought, oh my gosh, yes, like that's what makes you different. That's what people are going to relate to. You need to figure these things out and share them. She was so excited about it. That's what you need. That's going to be one of your 5. What are your hobbies? What do you like to do? Do you play baseball or whatever? Scrapbooking would be a hobby, I guess. What do you do in your downtime? These are all things that you can share. These are all things that you should write down and then start zeroing in on what might be one of your 5. What makes you you? You need to figure out what makes you different from everybody else. There's so many of us, but we're all different. We all have people that are going to relate to us. It doesn't matter if you have 100 pounds to lose and you're a coach, if you're at your goal weight and you're a coach, it doesn't matter. You are going to have people that relate to you. Something really fun, we don't have time to do it tonight, but is to take the 20-minute Pinterest test. And this was a really fun exercise for me, and I did this a couple years ago. Go onto Pinterest and start a new board. Set your timer for 20 minutes, and then just start pinning. Just start pinning anything and everything that you're attracted to. Some things I learned about myself when I did that was I loved hot pink, I loved gold, and I loved arrows. And honestly, I would never have told you that I liked those things before. But when I went back and looked after 20 minutes, I had been, pinning all these arrows and stationery with hot pink and stationery with gold. And I would have thought I liked silver. Everything I own is silver, but that's what I was attracted to. So I ended up taking that information and making my logo, which is now Team Fit Neek's logo. And, it was just a really fun thing to see what you're really attracted to when you're kind of on a time crunch and you're just pinning anything. So I'd recommend doing that for everybody. So now I'm going to share with you what my 5 are, just to give you an idea of how you can really narrow this down and figure out what your 5 are. So for me, I'm a self-proclaimed failing multitasker. I always call myself the multitasking mama, and really all I'm doing is like 1,000 jobs and not doing any of them really that well. I talk a lot about turning tragedy into triumph. I've had some hard situations happen in my life, which we all have. I've been divorced. I was married really young and went through a divorce. I have PCOS. Terry and I unfortunately had infertility problems. We ended up adopting Delaney. And now we're dealing with a terminal illness in my family. My dad has stage 4 lung cancer. So I talk about those things, and they're hard to talk about. They're really hard to talk about. But those are the times that I get real good connections with people. I love making things beautiful. I'm a hairstylist. I love makeup, home decor, pretty stationery, fashion, and I'm super creative. I could sit and do these slides all day. It's my favorite part. I'm a black coffee, wine drinking, lazy cook. I make fun of myself all the time on my page. You are not going to find intricate recipes on my page. You're going to see me steaming up some broccoli and throwing hot sauce on it because it's easy, and I'll feed that to my whole family. I'm very honest about that. I don't pretend to be anyone else but me. I love fun, I love my family, and I love other F words. Everyone, if you've been on my page, you know that the F-bomb gets thrown around every once in a while, and that's just me. And for me, if people don't like that, that's okay. They're probably not going to connect with me that well. So that's okay. I'm just me. So that's an idea of my 5. It's perfect. I can always go and look at this, and I always know what to post. I can always look at this list and say, perfect, today I'm going to post a hair tip. Oh, I think I'll post me drinking wine. Maybe I'll post one of my lazy recipes. Like, I always know what to post. I always know who I'm going to connect with by posting this stuff. The next thing that was a huge game changer in my business when I did this maybe a year and a half ago. I'm sorry, I just have to get to my notes here. I created an avatar. So I literally created a visual of the person that I want to talk to. And it's the most fun thing. You're not going to be able to do it right now, but take these tips and please do it. So start with a list of characteristics that describe a person that you would most enjoy helping or most enjoy having on your team. Who are they? What do they like? What do they do for fun? Literally make a list of their age. Are they single? Are they married? What do they do for a living? What are their interests? What are their hobbies? What's their personality like? And really dig deep here. Think about what your ideal customer, what would she fear? What would her goals be? What keeps her up at night? Really think about these questions. Put yourself in their shoes. You know, I think back to what I felt before I signed up as a coach. And what I was afraid of was it a scam? I had lived my whole life listening to my dad say that, pyramid schemes, it's a pyramid scheme. You don't get into a pyramid scheme. So I had this really bad vision of what these things were. I also was so afraid of what other people would tell me. What other people would think of me. What are my friends going to think when I start posting pictures on my wall? So think about all those questions that your ideal customer would have. And then you can create a visual. You know, after I did this, I went from talking to everyone, trying to talk to men, trying to talk to, to me, what seemed like little girls just having babies. I'm like an old mom. I'm 41 and I have a 4-year-old. I find it hard relating to a girl who's 20 that has a 4-year-old. We're not the same. So I went from talking to all of these different people to really just talking to my one person, this person that I created in my mind. I literally created a visual person, and I just talked to her. Every time I post, I talk to her. It has made my life so much easier and so much more fun. And the cool part is our team is full of people like my visual. So we literally get each other. We talk all day. We can't wait to luckily we're local, most of us, and we get together all the time, and we literally can't wait until the next time we're together. So I would really, really recommend doing something like this so you can have it in front of you and you can revisit it for inspiration all the time. So I'm going to let you meet my person, and I'm going to read to you what she's about and what she's like. So this is Vanessa. Vanessa is a 40-ish working mom. She's a black coffee drinking woman that spends her time hurrying from one job to the next. She is definitely a multitasker with lots on the go. She's happily married and loves being a mom, but does feel overwhelmed at times with both of these things and is hard on herself that she is maybe not the best wife or mommy. Sometimes it seems there's just isn't enough time to do all the things she wants to do in life. She's passionate about her family and loves spending time with them. Fun for her is an evening sitting around with her mom, some extended family, a nice bottle of wine, and a big bowl of chips, laughing and solving the world's problems, but shutting it down at the perfect hour of 10 p.m. Yes, that is right. Vanessa is an early riser and loves her quiet time in the morning. Because of that, she tries to get her beauty sleep in the evening and should be sawing logs no later than 10 p.m. However, because life is so crazy, she's often still half awake at midnight, hence the slightly obvious bags under her eyes all the time. Those are a work in progress. Vanessa loves to shop, surf the internet for recipe, DIYs for her home, and fun projects to do with her kids. She's obsessed with Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram and could get lost in it for hours. Vanessa loves all things to do with looking and feeling pretty, whether it's hair, makeup, home decor, or her clothing. She loves to feel good about herself. She loves spending time on her outside, but also focuses a lot on her inside. She wants her children to grow up feeling confident and secure no matter what they look like. A perfect day for Vanessa would be getting up early, surfing the web, and then getting her workout in, relaxing for the morning. She loves to shop, so being able to spend a couple hours scouring winners for would be ideal. She really loves great quality clothing, but doesn't like to spend a fortune on them. So a store like Winners is perfect. Vanessa often jokes that she is a quantity over quality girl, more for less, but does certainly like the finer things in life. After a few hours on her own, heading back home with Thai food or sushi to share with her family would be great. Getting her kids into bed with no drama, and then sitting with a glass of wine with her husband, planning their new home or their next vacation would be the perfect end to the perfect day. She does like to make sure she is feeding her family the best, healthiest whole ingredients. However, she's so lazy in the kitchen and hates making a mess, so is always looking for easy recipes that are healthy, taste good, but don't make too many dishes. Vanessa is a realist and knows there will be many bumps along the way. And that is why she tries to fill herself up with positive things every single day. She always tries very hard to see her cup half full and spreads love as much as she can. She seriously can't think of a better quality than being kind and wishes the whole world felt the same. Vanessa has big dreams for her little family. She wants to help her husband find his happy, content place in life. She envisions days at the lake in their new home with either herself or her husband to always be able to greet the kids when they get home from school and always able to walk them to the front door in the morning. She has dreams of traveling the world with her husband and family, sipping red wine in Italy, relaxing on the beach in Mallorca, and seeing some amazing history in Europe. Vanessa is driven and will work until the end of each day trying to make these dreams come true. Yes, she is that passionate about her family and their life together. She craves freedom, a team of people to motivate and help create their freedom as well. She will never get tired of helping people and believes that is her calling. Vanessa is very excited for the future and wakes up each day excited to get on with it. So this is the person that I talk to every single time I make a post. You know, this vision and this person should really inspire you. You should really be able to think of so many different things that you can talk about, that you can relate to. I could go on and on about Vanessa. She's willing to almost do anything for anyone, but she will not miss her workout. She's very scared of failing. She compares herself to people. That's something she's working on. You know, I think about what kind of values Vanessa has, and I talk about them. What kind of advice and guidance would a person like Vanessa need? And I don't undervalue what I can offer her. I know that we are so much alike that I can actually think about the things that she needs and I need, and I can go find those answers if I don't have them, and I can post about them. What might seem obvious to you could be very confusing to other people. What you find very simple may not be simple to other people, so share it. You know, the more you share, it takes so much time and consistency to build up your brand. It's not going to happen overnight. The more you do this and the more targeted you are, the easier things are going to get over time. But you have to be consistent with it. A few other examples. Vanessa hates her legs and really has a hard time keeping weight off. So I try and talk about those things on my page. Vanessa is so worried about what people think about her. So now I talk about personal development all the time because I know my target market is worried about what people think. My coaches, my potential coaches always say that to me. So I talk about that on my page all the time. This is a really fun exercise. I know it's going to take a little bit of time. I know we're all so busy, but it really changed my business. And I know my coaches did this about a year ago, and it really was business changing for all of us. So now you know your brand and you know what you should be posting about, and now you're starting to connect with people. Now what? You know, you've got this vibe. You're attracting your tribe. Now what do you do with it? We truly on Team Fitnique believe in free value. I want you to start thinking about where you're attracting your potential business partners and your potential challengers from. What is your social media outlet? Where have you chosen to find these people? You always need to be finding new people. I think we all know that by now, that, you know, you always need that list of people. You always need new people coming into your circle. Are you on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever, Snapchat? There's so many places. Just pick what works for you. Facebook, you've got your personal page, you've got a like or business page, you've got private messages, in person, phone. Where are you talking to these people? Once you figure out where you're going to find these people, you're going to attract them with your brand and with your targeting posts, then you're going to connect with them. And then you need to move them somewhere that you can offer them free value. Just because you've targeted your brand, your really core people, doesn't mean they're going to become your business partner or your challenger or refer anyone right away. You still have work to do. You still need to get them to trust you. And I firmly believe in offering amazing free value, and then they're going to trust you quickly. So what we do, most of us, and we really encourage on our team, is figuring out where you're going to find these people. And as I said, there's so many different places, there's so many ways to do this. And then funneling them into a free support page, whether that's a private support page or an open one, it doesn't matter, but somewhere where you can continue sharing, continue really talking to these people about you and really showing them how valuable you can be to them. For me, I decided to start a like and business page. These are literally the steps I took in my first couple weeks of business. I started my like page. I invited people from my personal page to like my business page and follow it. And then, of course, other people started following it because they found it through my friends that I had invited. So now there's people that I don't even know on my like page. I then started paying for people to like my page. So I started this all very early. I realized the value in investing a little bit into this business so I could get a good return. Whoever engaged on a post. So I started asking questions. I really started targeting down into my brand. And so I knew when I asked questions, these people would probably answer them because they thought the post was great. They liked the post. They wanted to engage. So whoever talked on there, so commented, liked it, or shared it, whatever, I immediately connected with them. And I immediately added them into my free support group. And this is where we build relationships. My like page, my business page, was my vehicle to my support page. And now I'm actually going to turn this over to Megan, who is, like I said, a diamond coach on our team. She's going to talk about the power of offering free content. As I said, we really feel like that is where you can build incredibly deep and trusting relationships. Megan is a diamond coach, and when she started with me, I think over a year ago, she really had no interest in doing a like page. She had no interest in really coming out of the closet, so to speak, with this. So her and I kind of decided the best place for her would be a private support group. And she could really control who she invited into that group. And she has, at this point, I think it's actually closer to 1,500 people in her group. She just changed the settings from private to open. And she has an amazing business growing. Her team is growing like crazy, and her page is amazing. So she is going to share with us what she does in her support groups. Megan, take it away. Are you on, Megan? Can you unmute yourself, Megan, or maybe I need to?
There. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. I will do that.
Okay. So like Michelle said, I went with a support group when I started up this business, mostly because I had no idea what a like page was, and I really didn't have any interest in figuring out a like page. So I went with the support group because I liked the idea of controlling who was in that group and who would see my posts. I was super kind of nervous about putting myself out there. I was very self-conscious. And there was just certain people that I didn't want to know what I was doing. So it's silly now looking back, but in the beginning, I did not want everyone knowing what I was doing. So I started up a support group, and I made the settings private. So I had probably about 300 friends on Facebook at that time, and I went through my friends list and I just hand selected who I wanted in that group. And I think I added about 120 people into that group to start with. So mostly women, all women, lots of moms, that kind of thing. So it was private, so no one else could see this group. No one else could find this group. It was just me and these 120 other women. So this is where I have run my business from, and without this page, I would not have a business at all. So when I opened this page, I was actually about 6 months pregnant with my 4th child. So my posts, I knew right away who I was kind of talking to. I was talking to other moms. I was talking to pregnant moms, anyone with little kids, really. So my posts were really geared towards them. And also, you know, my husband was out west, so it was just me and these 3 kids, and I was pregnant, and he was gone for like 3 months at a time. So it was just crazy. So I had lots to kind of post about, and it was almost my outlet, this group of just, it was my one thing that I could do at home that really had nothing to do with the kids or my husband. So I loved having that group. So I posted about working out, healthy eating, pregnancy tips, just how I survive with all these kids on my own. I started to become a go-to person. Like, I'll wake up in the morning and I'll have messages from random people asking me about like sleep training tips and like milk supply issues and mastitis, because I had a bad case of mastitis a few months back. So people relate to that, and people come to me for that advice, not necessarily for fitness advice or healthy eating, but just like regular everyday kind of topics. So I connect with them about that, and I give them my advice, and I give them support, and people feel very comfortable talking about these things with me. But, I'm not an expert, and I let them know that, because I think they just see me as a friend because I've taken the time to connect with them. Everyone in that group, I have sent a friend request to. So there's like almost 1,500 people in there, and I have attempted to connect with every single one of them, and I have connected with most of them. Everyone who accepted my friend request, I have connected with through a message. Some of them have not messaged me back, and that's fine. But the ones that have messaged me back, all of a sudden they start to comment on my posts, and they start to like my posts. So the more you reach out to these people, the more they're going to engage with you on your page, which then gets, a really great support group going. So what to post in these groups? It's basically my reality show. So first thing in the morning, I do my workout. I post about that. Mid-morning, I'm usually sitting around with my kids drinking coffee. I post about it. I post recipes. I love to cook. I love to bake. So I'll have tons of recipes on my page. Basically, if you are struggling with what to post, just stop what you're doing, take a selfie, and just post that and something that you're doing. People really don't care that much. They just love to see reality shows, right? We all love reality TV. We all love following random people on Facebook. Like, I've done it before. I've clicked onto someone's profile and I can spend like an hour going through their stuff, and I don't even know who they are. We all love to do that. We love to snoop into people's lives, and even if you think it's boring, people probably think it's kind of entertaining. So be 100% real when you are posting. People don't want to just see the like, oh, drinking my coffee, all day long and working out, and oh, my kids, they're so funny. They want to see that, but they also every once in a while want to see that you are real, and that you struggle in life, and that you don't sleep at night, and that you're mad at your husband, and you're not perfect. No one can relate to a perfect person. No one wants to see someone have it together all the time. So, for instance, I did a post a little while ago, and I sat down and I lifted up my shirt and I showed my tummy in it. I've had 4 kids, so there's a lot of skin there. And I posted about that. And so many people connected to that. So many moms messaged me and just said, like, thank you so much. I even had someone say they wouldn't have believed that I had a stomach that looked like that when I sat if I hadn't posted it. So, I'm real, and they love that and they connect with it. You can turn it, Michelle. So here is my calendar, and this is how I typically organize my month. So if what you're doing is working for you, I don't suggest that you go and change it, but this is what I've been doing, and this works really, really well for me. And it's very strategic the way that I do this. So I'm going to jump to the last week of the month there, where it says, what does it say? Promote a free group. So I once a month like to run a free challenge group. So for instance, a 5-day clean eating group. And I typically run them for about 5 days, because I find any longer than 5 days, I tend to lose them, especially over the weekend. People just fall off. So 5 days is the perfect amount for a free group to run. Oh, Michelle, you can go back. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. So think of a group you could run. And then in that last week of the month, you want to be promoting it on your page, in your support group, or on your like page. And, I'm running a free challenge, 5-day cleaning group, who wants to join, that kind of thing. And so you'll get people that want to join, and even ask them to tag their friends, tag a friend to join them. And then you can kind of get double the amount of people into this group. So that last week of the month, I really focus on connecting with these people. All these people that are interested in my free challenge group, I'm friend request, I private message, and I connect with every single one of them. This takes a lot of time, but I honestly think that it is very, very beneficial. I didn't understand when I first started the point of running a free group. I thought, why on earth am I going to run something free? I'm trying to make money. This doesn't make sense. But this will, in turn, it'll give you challengers down the road, I promise you. So really get to know them, get to know their goals. Why are they interested? What are their eating habits like? What do they have a family? Just really, really connect with them. Get them to share stuff, share their goals, that kind of thing. So then that first week of the month, I run the free group. While that free group is going, in my support group or in your like page, I announce a 21-day fixed challenge group. So people then will start to see that I'm going to be running a 21-day fixed challenge group, and it's something that they can join. So the people that are in my free challenge group, they're going to be seeing the posts in my support group, because they're in that support group too. So they're going to see these posts about the 21-day fixed challenge group. So it's already in their mind that there is something coming next. And if you run a killer free challenge, they're just naturally going to want to jump on board with the next thing that you have to offer them. So once you've filled your spots for your challenge group, you hopefully are at about SC10 now, so you can just breathe a sigh of relief and you hit your Success Club goals within the first part of your month, and your challenge group is full. And then of course, hopefully you'll make some other, sales throughout the month and get more challengers on board. But now you can really focus on getting more people into your support group. And this is something you should be focusing on every day, but that middle part of the month is really when I focus on this. So that's a whole other call, how ways to find new friends, that kind of thing. But when I first started my group, I really spent a lot of time learning how to get new friends and get more eyes on my page. I YouTubed that topic and I listened to so much, because I knew I could see right away that the 120 people that were in my group were either going to buy a challenge pack from me or they were not going to buy a challenge pack for me. So I needed to find new people, or else I was going to run out and my business would be over. So you need more people in there. So that middle of the month is when I focus on that. And then you get new people into that group. And then last week of the month, you promote a free group, because everybody loves a free group. They love free stuff. So all those new people are going to be like, this group is cool. She offers free stuff. I'm going to join this free challenge group. And then from there, it's a funnel. They get in the free group. They love it. They naturally want to join your challenge group. And you add more people, and it's just It's a funnel. It keeps happening. So you just, each month you do the same thing, more people. Okay, you can change it. Okay, so tracking. Track everything. Like, if you do not have a list, you do not have a business, pretty much. So write down all the names of the people who are interested in your free challenge group, because you are going to want to connect with them. You don't just throw them in that challenge group and let that challenge group run. You need to connect with them. And if you don't have their names written down, you're going to lose them in the system. So tracking is everything. Use a scheduling app. I use Sendables. So I'll spend one evening and I will, like spend an hour before my free challenge group is going to run, and I will get that whole challenge group set up. That way I don't have to worry about a darn thing. The post will come for the next 5 days, and I just can go in there every twice a day and check in and answer questions, that kind of thing. And don't feel like you need to invent a whole new free group, a free challenge group. We have all run so many different ones. You can get added into an old one and kind of use it as a template. You can use old, like clean eating menus. Don't feel like you have to come up with your whole menu yourself. There's tons out there that you can borrow. My husband just walked in. So some groups are quiet, and that is totally normal. When I first started, none of my groups talked, and I think it was because my warm market was in all those groups. And for whatever reason, when a lot of people know each other, people are more quiet. And it really wasn't until I got my cold market into these groups that the groups really took off. And I think, I know I'm personally more comfortable sometimes talking to people I don't know. And I think a lot of challengers are as well, sharing, their goals and that kind of thing with strangers. So the groups really start to take off eventually. So don't panic if no one in your group is talking. It's very, very normal. Keep the people engaged. So run, fun little challenges during that challenge group. So every morning I will have a fun challenge, like a planking challenge or, a squat challenge. Every time you go to the bathroom, you have to do 10 squats, that kind of thing. So just fun stuff that gets people to engage. Also, get them to tag you on their personal page, because if they do that, their friends are all going to see your name and that they're doing this 5-day ab challenge and their abs are so sore, but they're loving it. And then people are going to comment on that post like, oh, what are you doing? I want to do that too. So then you've got those people you can connect with. And I friend request those people. I'll comment on their post right there and I'll friend request them. And once they accept, I throw them in my support group. So it's just more ways to connect with more people. Let's see, flip it over. So follow up. The follow up. Definitely connect with these people during that group. Don't just let the group go and not connect with them. At about day 2, day 3, I private message every single one of them. And again, this takes time, but I just send a very quick message like, hey, just wanted to check in. How are you enjoying the group? Anything I can help with? That's it. It takes like 20 seconds to send that message. Send it to everybody. You just want to make sure that they're doing okay. And then when it's done, check in with them again at the end of it. By now you've been posting in your support group about your upcoming 21-day fixed challenge group. So they have seen these posts. So you have given them all this free content this past week. So now you have earned the right to invite them to this challenge group. Don't feel like you can't invite them. You've established a relationship with them, so you've earned that right. You've warmed them up to the idea because they've seen your posts already. So, send them a message, something like, not sure if you saw my post about my upcoming 21-day fixed group, but I've saved some spots for this group. Just wondering if it was something you'd ever thought about. I would love to share some information if you're open to the idea. something very simple like that. And always bring it back to their goals, because you know their goals because you talked with them the week before the group. So go back to that. You know, I know you really were hoping to lose those last 15 pounds that you gained during your pregnancy, and I really think this could be a great way for you to reach your goals, and I would love to continue helping you. And then if they're on board, ask them if they have a friend that would like to do this 21-day fix challenge group with them. So again, you're inviting them to invite someone, and that's bringing another person into your network, another person to connect with. So free groups I love doing free groups. I run them pretty much once a month. I always have really, really good luck with them because I invest time into them. I find awesome challengers every time I run a free group, and I also usually find at least one coach in those groups, because you connect with them and they connect with you, and you really get to know their goals. So once you connect with someone, they want to do what you're doing, basically, once you kind of established a friendship. So it's just natural. And if you do think that someone's going to be a great coach that is in this group, you know, the person that's encouraging everyone else and answering all the questions and posting tons of selfies, those are the people you want to say, hey, you're going to think I'm totally crazy, but would you ever consider doing what I'm doing? I'm always looking for other women to join my team, and I think you would be a great fit. You know, is it something that you would consider? So it's just a really great breeding ground for challengers and coaches. And that's all I have.
That was very good. Thanks, Megan. Alrighty, I will stop this and see everybody's face again and unmute everybody. Wow.
Where's you?
Okay. So, does anybody have questions for Megan or I?
Go, okay? No, I'm not on there. I didn't open my camera.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. I'm so excited to meet everybody. Oh my gosh, this is the biggest call I think I've ever been on. I'm Brianne, everybody. Hi.
Hi.
Hello. So
Yes,
I
but
have
talking,
two
it's
questions
muted.
because Heather is my upline coach, and
Go.
we've been talking a lot about free groups, and I'm like, why would I do a free group? Same thing. But so I'm going to do it. I worked all day on it today. But my two questions are, and I think I was letting the dog in when you might have answered this one, but do you take down the group? Like, how do you do it? Like, I've seen it promoted in an event, and then I'm assuming you make a group from that event. And my second part of that question is, do you have to take it down after the 5 days, or can you just like let it be a revolving door? Do you kick the people out and leave the content there? Those are my two questions.
I'll jump in there. I have only ever done an event once because I just opened a like page. I just found it super confusing because it was just overwhelming with this event. So I don't typically do an event, but I just stop the group. Like once the 5 days are over, the group's still there. Like I have all these groups and the people are still in there, or they leave, but the group just stays there. And then when I start a new clean eating group or a new, Shakeology, Shake Off group, whatever, I just start a brand new one.
So the other ones are still there, but then you like you'll take content from the other ones, like the other cleaning groups, like say in the file section, and kind of throw them over into the new group.
Yeah, and with like my scheduling app, I don't know how all of them work, but it saves all of them. So if I'm gonna go do another 5-day cleaning group, all my posts are right there, and I can just kind of like repost them. So it saves them all, so it's easy.
Oh, I gotta figure out how to do that, because all my challenge groups, I've been like, I have like a file section on my computer, and I've been like pulling PDFs from here, and it's just.
I was the exact same way until I realized this, and it has saved so much, like hours and hours of time.
So it's under the scheduling tab there?
Do you use Sendables?
No, I think I need to.
Yes.
Buffer has it too.
What's that?
Buffer, if you use Buffer, it also has where you can do rebuffer, and it'll send it to a completely different group.
Okay. Oh, perfect. I was using Buffer, but then they had that little glitch where it was not with the pictures for that. I don't know if it's like a week I started a challenge group, of course. So
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember that glitch.
yeah, that was fun. Okay, that's my questions. Thank you.
I have a question. I have tried to do going directly from the free group and connecting with the people in there, and then trying to approach regarding the challenge group. And I feel like there's a lack of trust yet. Like they don't really know me. It's only been 5 days, and I get a lot of no's. And then I kind of backpedal and go, well, I have this free group, and then I feel sleazy almost. I don't know if sleazy is the right word, but just kind of uncomfortable, because it's like, it just seems like I'm rushing to go for the sale rather than building that trust and that relationship. So what I've been doing lately is I'm doing the free group, and then and then I offer them my, do the free 5-day group, and then I offer them my free support group, and then in there they can get to know me, I get to know them better, establish that trusting relationship, and then approach regarding paid challenges. So I don't know. Basically, what my question is: does anybody else experience that difficulty going just from the free 5-day challenge to a paid challenge, and people are giving you resistance?
So I think that as soon as you are friends with someone, get them into your support group. Like immediately, as soon as you are friends with them. So everyone who you are friends with should be in your support group already.
Okay.
Like no matter what, like go to your friends list tonight and throw all the people in your support group, like all the people you want to connect with, women or men, whatever your market is, but get them all into your support group.
Okay.
And then I think that the week before the challenge starts, you know, are you spending that time connecting with them? Are you private messaging them? Are you getting to know them? Like back and forth messages.
Yeah, well, I try, but a lot of what I've noticed also is a lot of people come in and go grab and go, is what I call them, the grab and takers kind of people. They come in and then they'll just take recipes, and then I never see them again. So, and I've just come to accept that as a fact. There are some that stick around and participate and do changes and whatnot, and then there are those who just want recipes and, you know. So, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Megan, can I piggyback on that question actually? When you were talking about your free group, when you advertise, let's say if you had a like page or whatever, and you just advertise that, hey, you're running a free group and you're just meeting these random people who are saying, hey, I want in, and your friend requesting them, you at the same time that you're putting them into your free group, would you add them to your support group at the same time, so that when you are advertising for your challenge group, they're seeing it in your support group instead of feeling like they've been like bamboozled into something shady in the free group? Is that what you meant?
Yep.
Okay.
Immediately. As soon as we're friends, get them into the support group, because I feel very confident with my support group that, you know, once they get in there, they're gonna love it. Like that my life is in there. So if they don't love it, then I don't want to connect with them. Like we're not gonna.
Do you give them the heads up that you're going to be adding them to both the free challenge group and your support group? Like, is this?
Yeah, I think I might say like, oh, you know, I hope you don't mind. I added you into my support group. You know, I post lots of recipes in there and tips and tricks for staying healthy. So, you know, hope you don't mind.
So they can get to know you on 2 levels then, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And
the
then
more they get to know you, the more chance you have at getting them as a challenger or a coach. Like the connection is everything.
And then they can see how much everybody else loves you in your free support group, because you've already built that relationship with the people already in there.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Very smart. Thank you.
Anybody else? I know, is Allison on this call? Allison, are you here? You want to share with us how you've kind of branded yourself?
Sure. So for me, I'm in the dog community. I do dog agility, and so I've been pretty good. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. You're
Okay.
good.
All right. So my whole thing has been dog mom fitness, and so right from the get-go it was there. So it's connecting with all the people in dog sports, and that's actually worked really, really good for me because we all have something very familiar. And so at first it was just all of my friends, because I had a ton of friends from agility that I just did exactly what Megan was saying. I have a support page, and so everybody who was my friend, I automatically put them all into my support page. And so it was just really just friends at that time. And then in the last month, I've been going, because I've been reaching out to a lot more people on the East Coast and some people in the US and stuff like that. I've been just looking through their friends list and getting into their agility communities in not just Ontario. So I have a lot of, actually I have some challengers now from Nova Scotia. I'm starting to chat with more people in the US that do agility and even other dog sports, fly ball, rock diving, and stuff like that. And basically for me, finding people has just been looking through their friends list. And dog people, if you haven't noticed, everybody has a dog as their profile pic. So it's pretty easy to just like go through their friends list, and anybody who has a dog as a profile pic, I add as a friend. And then I do what Megan was just saying about, have been trying to make sure before, when I add them to my support group page, I do send them a short little, hey, I just added you to Dog Mom Fitness support page, and we share stuff. And the response I've been getting in the last month has been incredible, because everybody's like, cool, awesome, great, combining dogs and fitness, it's awesome. And everybody's so passionate. And like my first thing with my angle was like, we always spend like, it's like actually ridiculous how much money people spend on their dogs in dog sports to keep them fit. But if you go to a trial on a weekend and you see how many people don't keep themselves fit, their dog is lean and trim and everything, but they're laboring to get around the course themselves. And then they do the whole, oh my gosh, my dog's so slow. I wonder why. So that's actually been my big thing, and everybody really appreciates it. So, but it's also fun because then people enjoy my challenge groups, because we're all got the same kind of background. So it's just definitely finding your thing, because it's like, for me to attract a bunch of moms just isn't the same thing. Like, yeah, I have a stepson and I do all that kind of stuff too, but really it's more during the week, it's me and my dog. So it's just finding that thing.
Yes. You've done an awesome job. Like, it's exactly what I was talking about. You narrowed in on your target, and it's proving to work. You're Success Club 10, usually one of the first ones on the team always. So
yeah,
you've done a really, really good job.
So I'm almost up to 500 people on my support page, I think. So
great.
Kind of crazy.
I know there was a lot of talk on a thread that we had going about adding people to your free groups, and we're pretty aggressive. As you can see, our team is pretty aggressive. We just add people. We will send them a little message sometimes. I wouldn't say I always send a person a message telling them that I've put them in the group. And for me, if they don't want to be there, they don't have to join the group. It's no big deal. Like, I don't go back and like tally up who's in there and who's not in there and get my feelings hurt. And like, you kind of have to at some point say to yourself, I'm doing this and I want as many people as I can to be in that group so they can get to know me. And if you've branded yourself properly, that's why this call kind of went in layers. If you've branded yourself properly, the people that you add to that group should really want to be there. If you're adding them from your personal page or your like page, they should really want to be in that group because they're very much like you. Does that make, I hope that makes sense. We really just believe in adding people and not being shy about that. We really feel that in that free group is where all the trust and the connection is built. And then when we go and talk about a challenge group, they want to do it with us. It's not tough. Any other questions?
Michelle, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I was just wondering, if I add someone into my support group and they don't want to be in it, is there a way they can remove themselves, or I can remove them?
Yep, they can remove themselves. There's a little tab that says, I think it says join up in the cover photo. They just have to click it and it's leave group. But if you ask a person to join your private group or support group, they get a notification. It says, Michelle Moore-File has added you to the FitFile support group. Leave or okay. And they have to literally punch something. Like they have to say yes or no.
Oh, okay.
It's not like they just wake up one day and they're seeing me in my space. So they have to, like, they can see the post, but they have to actually click.
Accept it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
In my experience, I was just added into someone's group and said no. So that's what I had to do. Not one of us. Something else.
Michelle, I think that might have to do with the settings.
Okay.
I think if you have an open group, when you add people in, they're just automatically in there. They get a notification that they've been added. But I think if it's a closed group and you add them in, they can either join or not join.
Okay.
Mine's a private group.
So yeah, then they would get the option to not join.
Okay.
But they can certainly leave whenever they want. Like they don't, they're not in there for life, like jail.
Yeah, and like honestly, who cares, right? Like you're offering like some cool value and some tips. So, just like don't overthink it. Just add them in. They don't want to be in, they'll leave. No big deal.
So do you think it's a good idea to message them though and let them know you're adding them?
Not necessarily. If you've got time to do that, sure, but no. It's totally what you feel comfortable with, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have started actually messaging them all, and they've actually really appreciated it. And then I've noticed once I've messaged them and said I've added you to my support page, and all of a sudden I see them like the next day liking things and looking at things, and which they didn't before, because I kind of like gave them that kind of nudge to start looking at things. And when you're saying about people not wanting to, yes, I did have somebody, of course they said, well, that's fine as long as you're not trying to, pedal off Shakeology or something stupid like that on me. And me and my husband just looked at each other and said, bye-bye. And we deleted them ourselves because we don't need negative attitudes either.
When you message someone, your information is going to come up in their feed more often. So that just doesn't happen by default, right? Like because you messaged them, now your information is going to come up in their feed more. So there's value in personal messages. So much value. So if you have time to, it is the best idea to message everybody. Absolutely. That is the best thing you can do with everybody, is send them a person. If you're friends with them, send them a message. They're going to start seeing your posts more often. You're going to show up in their feed more often. So the stuff that's in your group is going to get into their feed. Just because you have people in their group does not mean that they see your stuff. Facebook is really funny and really tricky. So the power of the personal message is amazing. It will make sure that you're in their feed more often, and then they'll comment more, and the more they engage, the more they're going to see of your stuff. So if you can, personal message is awesome on varying levels of why, but don't feel like you have to do that. Like, get people into your group is really the main, in our opinion. And this is just our opinion too. So we're not writing the Bible of Beachbody here. Like, just, you got to do what you're comfortable with. And this is just what's worked for us. And we're sharing it with you.
Michelle, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi.
Congratulations, Heidi. Sorry.
Oh, thank you. Quick question. So I have a like page and a private support group, and I find that sometimes the lines are blurred a little bit of the content that I'm posting in one and the other. I know we've had tons of conversations, and sometimes I think I just need to hear it like 80 times before it'll click. But would you say that a like page is more like your commercial, and then the reality show, is, Megan, as you said, is like your support group? Because I find that I'll post something on my like page and I'm like, shit, I really should have posted that in my private support group. Like, that was really good. And vice versa. And I guess I'm just overthinking it too much and what I'm posting in each group. I don't know if you have any advice.
You see both of mine. Like, you're in my support group, and my support group is where I really share deeper stuff, but I still share, like, I feel my like page is really where a lot of my business now comes from. Like, I'm past my warm market. I really am trying to dig into, people like Jessie. It's a perfect example. We connected on my like page, and then I moved her into my support page. So I need to do some deeper connecting stuff on my like page, but I don't do it all. Like, sometimes it's just a funny meme or quote or whatever. Like, my rule of thumb for my like page, and this is like a whole other call, what you should post on your like page and whatever, but my rule of thumb is once a day on my like page, I have something fairly connecting, like fairly personal. And then I only do 3 posts a day now on my like page. And back in the day, guys, we were doing like 8 posts a day on a like page. And I didn't know that you could schedule for like my first 4 months. So, and that is where you need to be consistent. You absolutely, I cannot say that word enough to you guys. You have to be consistent. I 100% have not missed a day of posting since I started coaching. I have not. So it speaks volumes. You need to have consistency. So once a day, I make sure it's something deep that someone could really get to know me. And then the other stuff, the other 2, it might be a recipe that I share, something that I find on Pinterest, and then something funny, but still all relating back to my brand. So the funny might be about the F-bomb. The funny might be about drinking wine. Lots will be about how I'm a disaster as a mother. Like, it's all still relating back to me and my brand, even though it might just be a quote or something. And then in my support group, I tend to post less. Like, sometimes I just post once a day, but it's usually something deeper or, something I know that they need, or they've been asking. They were asking for exercises the other day, so we're doing a little fun challenge right now, like a butt challenge or something. So I don't know if that answers your question. I think you probably are overthinking it, but it's an easy thing to overthink, because I often do that too. I'll post something on my like page. I'm like, that would have been better in my support group. So
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions? Maybe about 5 more minutes for questions, and then I got to go to bed. Comments, questions, anything?
Great job tonight, ladies.
Thank you.
I wanted to make a comment on what you guys were saying about just adding people. Yeah. I am one crazy one that will just go, and where it says friends you might want, I start adding people like crazy. And then I kind of pick and choose who I send the message to. Like, if I see that, like, because I go and then I start sorting the people that accepted me. You see how you get the notifications. And I go into their page, and if they speak Spanish, then I add them to the Spanish group. And then depending on what I see on their page, if I message them or not. Because sometimes I see ladies that are like very picky, and you can tell by their posts that they have these mini attitudes. So those are the ones that I go and like I send them the message, and they're actually very thankful and grateful that I added them to the page. And then bam, they start liking everything that they see. So I think that has helped a lot, because they don't leave the group. Like I have the count, and the count is only going up. So they haven't left the group. Maybe, yes, and I've noticed like a few circle of friends, actually people that I know and that I go to their kids' birthday parties and everything, they have left the groups. And like, I'm like, maybe I didn't add them, so I added them a second time, and then I go back and check, and no, they leave the group. So I'm like, okay, like, whatever. But then the other people, like, they really stay there and they comment. But I have, and they're like, it's funny because the other day that we were talking about in our thread that if we should message them, I'm like, okay, maybe I should. When I started them, I got so many positive feedback. It's like, it just gave me like fuel to keep going. So I think it's great that we're doing that. And I just started with the like page, so I don't know how that's gonna go. I hope it goes well. I'm trying to post in both languages in that one page, because I do not think I can manage 2 like pages and then 2 groups.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like a lot.
I think we talked about this on Monday. Jesse, you weren't on that call, but I think that's great. Like, I wish I spoke another language. Man, I think that's awesome. That's what Veronica and Jesse, you should get talking.
Yes. Who's Veronica?
Veronica's on now. I saw Veronica. She's on now.
Sorry, it was my son needed me, so I'm over here. Wait, hola, ¿cómo estás? Chévere. Tenemos que conectar.
Oh, here they go.
You girls are like, what the heck are they saying?
Yes.
I missed the conversation, so I'll listen to it again.
Yes. Send each other a friend request. Can hook up.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it'll be great. I've been working on like trying to get like people that are interested in coaching, but then they only speak Spanish. So I've been, and Michelle knows, because every time I find something cool, I'm like, I found this and I found that and I got this info. So I have like a sneak peek trying to get posts there, and actually started adding people that speak Spanish in that group. And Michelle has been looking and hoping she understands a little video that I put up and like this stuff that I'm doing. But a great way to get our Spanish market on, because I'm in New York. It's like 95% of people over here, it's like either bilingual or Spanish.
Awesome. Yeah, I did some videos too in Spanish on my own, so maybe we can like join forces. Definitely.
Yeah. No.
Perfect. Cool.
We got this.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Anybody? One last call for questions, and then this chick's got to go to bed.
Michelle.
Hi.
Is there, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but if you have too many groups on Facebook World, is that not a good thing?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. You shouldn't have too many groups open. You shouldn't be the admin for too many groups.
Right.
That's
you have to do. You don't have to cancel all the groups, because I have a gazillion groups, but I just take myself out as administrator, and you won't get in trouble if you're not administering the group.
Right on. But then say you take yourself out and you want to just go back and look at a group. Can you do that if you've taken yourself out? Likely not.
I'd have to try that. I take my information out of the group before I, take myself out.
Right.
I know I haven't. I don't ever have to go back. Hopefully.
Yeah. No, all good.
So yeah.
Okay. That was
you don't want too many groups either. That's gonna like overwhelm you either. So you gotta keep it to your minimum of your free group, your challenge group, your coaches group. Keep it to as minimum as you can.
Yes. Same thing with friend requests, everybody. Yeah. Don't have too many out there, and especially don't friend request 25 people
at the same time.
Then the other thing is to go back into where you've sent the friend request. You can view it, and if someone hasn't gotten back to you in like 2 days, 3 days, delete that request, because that's another Facebook jail bad thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep. Good tip.
So sorry, Darlene, where do I check with the people that I've already invited before in the past?
So that you'd have to go into, I'm just going to try and do it on my desktop here if it goes, but it's in under, oh, of course, and my desktop's going slow. So you go into where your friends are on your own personal page.
Yeah.
And you click on friends, then click on friend requests. Then the next page that comes up, it'll say respond to your 5 friend requests. So if someone's sending you a friend request, you'll see that. But right underneath the respond to your friend requests, it says view sent requests. So you click on that, and then you'll see the ones that you've sent out. So if you've sent out quite a few and no one, maybe they haven't got back to you in like a week or something, delete that. You can go and click on the person. It'll say right beside it that friend request was sent. You hover over that, and then you can cancel the request.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Darlene, does it say when the friend request was sent? Like, does it give you a date on there so you can kind of keep track of when you sent it?
I wish it did. But what I do myself, because I'm a pen and paper gal like Michelle and everybody else, I will write down the date. Like, say for tomorrow, I've got a list of, say, I do 5 a day of sending friend requests out because I'm scared of Facebook jail. But I'll put the date, and then I'll put the names beside it. And it's in my binder in my, monthly thing. So May, I've got my list of new friend requests, the one page, and then I've got whoever I'm sending to and the date. So I'll keep checking back, like daily. I'll go in and say, okay, they haven't. I'll give them like 2 or 3 days, and if they haven't, then I'll just delete that out.
Okay.
So what Facebook jail is? What they block your account?
I think if you, I don't know. I haven't been blocked, so I don't want to. But I don't know, Amy or Michelle. Do you guys know if you have too many out there? Do they freeze your account or something? Or
I haven't been yet, and I've had a lot of friend requests out there, but I always make sure to go back, and if I go back and connect with that person on my like page because they commented on a post or something, and I see that I already sent the friend request, but it was like, that post was like a week ago, I go in and delete all those. So, hopefully I haven't had too many because I make sure that I go in and delete them. I don't know if Michelle does the same thing, but I haven't.
I once a week probably go to my friends and delete them. I don't.
We haven't been jailed. I don't think you haven't, right? No. So.
No, touch wood though.
I know. Don't. We should, yeah. But we just want you guys to know that, just to, just in case, and to be safe. So.
Yeah.
I think what they do is they give you like probation. They don't allow you to add any more friends for like a few days or something. Because it's the same thing when you're doing an event and you're inviting people. If you invite too many at like the same time, then it gives you like your I saw the post and I was telling Michelle, I'm like, what? It's like it's telling you that you're abusing that feature of like inviting too many. So like you have to like pace yourself. So I think it's like it won't allow you, like that time it didn't allow me to invite anymore for like an hour. And then I had to go back to the event and invite more people. So I think it will be the same thing for like friend requests.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap her up. Thank you all for joining us. This was fun to have like 2 pages of people.
That's a record right there, Michelle.
Yeah. Anyways, I did record it, so I will get it to Amy, or I'll post it on the page whenever I get it up. And
cool.
I hope it helped.
Thanks you. And we're going to be doing some more combined calls to you guys. We're going to have corporate on a call with us June 1st. Kayshawn Graves is going to be with us, so that's going to be a big call. She's an awesome motivator. So we're going to be combining a little bit more. I think it's fun to have so many faces and people on the call. So yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, Michelle, and to
Megan.
Megan, darling. I was trying to find her picture. There she is. All right.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.